All right, everyone, come on in, come on in. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. As always, appreciate you being here. And today we're going to look at another great, fantastic 1950s toys, 70 plus years old. And I'm working on my LaCroix lime seltzer water, trying to avoid those cheap water bottles and plowing through the dog days of summer here where it's still hot and steamy in Florida. And we have bugs the size of tennis balls, but it's still all good because we do have sunshine and the beach and palm trees, which are pretty cool. So if you're comfortable in your chair and you have a nice beverage on hand and a nice snack and you're focused and you're drilling in on what you're looking at, the name says it all. It's a Firebird. And before I get into this particular toy, and it's a very unique toy, make sure if you're lurking through and you're not subscribed, that you please subscribe to the channel. That would be first and foremost your duty as a watcher of this free content of rare toys. And the best toys you'll find anywhere on the internet, bar none, not even close. I challenge you, go look anywhere. You're not going to see anything like this. Anyway, with that out of the way, I think this toy, right, the Firebird, when I see the emblem on it, I said, this has to be where the friggin' Trans Am Screaming Eagle came from. But you know what, let's start with the box because this must have been part of that GM Firebird show cars that they made in the 1950s. And man, what beautiful cars they would. But here's your freaking Screaming Eagle chicken logo that adorned those Trans Ams from like 1970, well, all the way to like 2002, until they retired Pontiac. Man, they need to bring back those cool brands like Plymouth and Pontiac and Oldsmobile. Don't even bring back the whole brand. Just bring back their cool cars like the Hearst Olds, the Trans Ams. What else? What else are we missing? Obviously the Firehawks, Firebirds. But anyway, so check out this cool box. The color is like astounding. I've never seen like too many like futuristic cars like this that kind of have this pink shade on it. But this one does. And here's your Alps logo. And this guy's, I guess he's testing all these Firebird prototypes. This is your lead tester. And I'll tell you the one demerit of this toy that I have, my criticism of this toy. But it's a cool, futuristic, rocket-looking car. And look, here it is. Your early prototype Trans Am logo, a Firebird. I still can't get over it. This was probably like the inspiration for the name. Now, here is the side panel. Again, this freaking cool shade of pink that you remember in the 50s. I remember looking at houses made in the 50s, and they'd have those pink bathrooms and all kinds of funky colors like that. So, yeah, it's a beautifully artistically depicted box. And then the car itself, I mean, it kind of looks like part rocket, part race car. And it has a lot of factory touch-ups. And at first glance, you might think that somebody take a magic marker to this thing or something. And no, I tell you, this is the way the factory was back then. You could tell like where they tabbed over, they touched it up. And these like fender covers here, right? They're not perfectly matched. This car, now I don't know if it faded. It's almost like orange at this point. But you could see the touch-ups are this like lavender color, which I think is really kind of interesting. And you can see on the bottom, again, they touched it up in several places. This is what your factory touch-up looks like. This shaft here, this drive shaft, or this axle, is like you could adjust it. You could put it like so the car turns, basically. So you could angle it like that if you want the car to turn. You can angle it that way. So that's kind of a clever way to make the car go where you want it to. I don't know if the back was supposed to spark, but there's no gel back there. I'm guessing maybe it might have had a gel and could have sparked. I don't see a flint wheel, though, but you never know. I mean, it was common back then to do so. And of course, there's your trademark. But look at that beautiful silhouette here. Now, the one demerit I give it is that they should have had a tin pilot under here to match the box. That would have looked cool. Now, you do have some shrinkage on this like celluloid dome. You can see it kind of pulled away from the body a little bit. But you wouldn't mess with this. This is so fragile. I mean, it is so thin. It's about as thin as those new friggin' cheap water bottles I'm always forever bitching about. And here's your Trans Am logo, your Firebird. I think it's hysterical. You know, when I think back, like, my God, they really love that. GM must have loved that screaming chicken logo, you know. And by the way, these wheels say Firebird in their tin. These aren't like, well, I guess they do have rubber on them, but they're tin wheels. And they actually lithoed Firebird on there with these cool spokes, and they're multicolored, which is kind of unusual too. So this car runs along like this. Makes a pretty cool sound. And the friction mechanism still works really well. And probably was the 4th in a series. Now, I think out of all the Firebird toys, there are quite a few of them, this is probably one of the rarer, if not the rarest version of Firebird toys. And I think the hardest box to find as well. But if you're, you know, specialize yourself in these particular Firebirds, I know I see the battery ones all the time. And this one, though, not too common. So let me know what you think of it. I think it's probably one of the coolest shapes. I'm going to hold it up again. I think you have to really have it in your hand to appreciate it. I think they did a really nice job. Some of the battery versions, they're festooned with like a million different wings, where this one just has the wings molded into the body, and then it just has this extra fin that's tabbed on there. But the battery ones, man, they have like 20 different fins on there, which they still look cool, but this one looks a little more subtle, you know, a little prettier in my opinion. And then this gives it like that kind of 50s open wheel racer look. So I tend to like this better. But anyway, let me know what you think of the toy. Let me know if you've seen this. I think both the box and the toy are really, really cool. And I'm curious, though, if you've seen this toy before, if this orangey, pinkish, it's not, you know, on camera it's going to come out way more orange than it is, but it does kind of has a mauvey look to it. I wonder if that's kind of fade or if that's the way it is. You may have it yourself, and you may say, no, that's the color. So let me know. But also let me know if you like the video. Thumb it up. That'd be greatly appreciated. And don't forget, again, to subscribe. That's always appreciated as well. And thanks, as always, for your time. With that, my friends, I will talk to you later.